Because if you listen to Maxine Waters, she goes around saying, we will impeach him. We will impeach him. Then people said, but he hasn't done anything wrong. Oh, that doesn't matter. We will impeach the president. So I don't think we're going to have a lot of happy people if that happens. I think it's going to be a little bit tough. But she goes around and some others, we will impeach him. Doesn't matter if you do anything right or wrong. They want to do that. We got to win the House. And you know what? We're going to win anyway. But we're going to win the House.
All right, President Donald Trump in Washington Township, Michigan, doing something very interesting. I don't think I've really ever seen it before. Campaigning on impeachment.
On his own impeachment.
Exactly. CNN historian Douglas Brinkley is here with me right now. Obviously, it didn't happen with Nixon because that played out in between elections. Right. With Bill Clinton, again, he was impeached before the midterm election there. But Donald Trump out there campaigning, if you don't put Republicans back in the House, they'll impeach me.
Yeah, and he's not wrong about that. I mean, the Democrats win Congress, they very well move to impeach him on all sorts of different reasons. So you're seeing the opening salvo of the 2018 election right now, and it's connected to Senator Tester in the same way. Try to pick up that Senate seat up there in Montana.
Sure.
He's ginning things up early.
But Lauren, just speak to how remarkable that is.
Yeah.
That was a remarkable moment, right?
Yeah, I think it's particularly remarkable since the Democrats, as we said before, aren't even really talking about that. The leadership
Some
really
are. Maxine Waters, he's correct
in
saying that.
You're right about Maxine Waters, true. But when Congressman Al Green brought up his original, idea of putting impeachment on the floor, he was sort of beaten back by the leadership and told, effectively to be quiet on that idea. He did pick up some votes on his second try, but still, it's not something that's a Democratic Party priority.
Joe Walsh, it is interesting. Democratic strategists I speak to, they are all pushing their candidates to run on health care. Right?
Yeah.
Run on the middle class that has been left behind still, they say, during the Trump administration. Yeah. What they essentially say is, you don't have to bring up Donald Trump. You don't have to bring up impeachment. The voters you care about, they know that already.
I covered the Virginia House of Delegates races last year, 2017, where Democrats did really well. They almost took the House of Delegates. And I didn't see anybody campaigning on impeachment. Connor Lamb did not, in Pennsylvania, did not campaign on impeachment. Doug Jones did not campaign on impeachment. Democrats in the state houses have flipped 40 states from red to blue. Nobody's talking about impeachment. They've learned to be very local. They've learned to be very driven by issues. People were afraid that the tax bill would hurt them. It did not. It has not helped Republicans. But the issues are not Donald Trump. Is there Donald Trump anti-Trump rage that animates the activists and that will get people out to vote? Certainly. But the leadership and the candidates themselves are really not ginning that up.
So, Paris Denard, is it a smart strategy for the president to do that tonight, then?
Well, listen, the RNC has 51 staffers there in 23 field offices in the state of Michigan. He's talking to a political crowd that's made up of his base. Thousands of people were there. Thousands couldn't get in. And so he's talking to them because, as we know, it's about turnout. So he needs to ensure that his base, those that are going to be voting, are going to be able to turn out. So that is
But he could have said, for example, I'm the one who got you these tax cuts, and now make sure you keep Republicans in power so that we will make the tax cuts permanent for individuals. He's not at all. He's saying, come vote for me, because they are going to try to impeach me if we lose the House.
He's talking to a crowd of people who already believe that the tax cuts are working. He's already talking to a crowd of people who already believe.
No, but he's talking to the nation. I mean, this was a televised speech. It's not only who was in that audience, right?
Well, right.
But there are men. I mean, I interviewed Congressman Espaillat from Harlem, that was a big part of what he was saying. Impeach the president. Impeach the president. He was saying there are multiple members who agree with me. This is what we need to focus on. Tom Steyer is spending lots of money on this network and elsewhere with millions of dollars that he could be spending, maybe trying to help small business owners build companies, and he's doing it on a campaign to impeach the president. So there's absolutely a lot of progressive energy behind it. But, Joan, I think you brought up a smart point about Connor Lamb and the fact that he ran toward President Trump rather than running away from the president, and that's going to be the smart strategy as it relates to
toward the middle.
I would
Sure.
It's nowhere near the majority of Democrats are talking about impeachment. But it is a smart move by the president to take the subject off him and take the subject off of something else and make that strategy something that would gin up the base. But of course, like we said before, he needs swings. He doesn't need just the base. He's got to have the swing voters.
Doug, you want
just that the national argument is going to be when the Mueller report comes out, was there obstruction of justice?
Right.
And the Democrats are going to say that is obstruction of justice, at least many of them. And the Republicans are going to say, no, there isn't. Now, if you have the Democrats taking over Congress, they will look into impeachment. And so it's Donald Trump trying to gin up his base right now to say, look, you want to get rid of the Trump revolution? Be lazy and
But I will say, I talked to Democratic strategists, they want to make this about health care. The Republican strategists I talked to want to make this about anything besides Donald Trump. So when he's coming to visit your district or around the country right now and says me, impeach, 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 that's counterproductive, so say the Republican strategists.
Yes, but you have to bear in mind that the policy issues, the number one legislative, the only legislative, major legislative achievement that Republicans got in the past year is tax cuts.
Right.
And tax cuts are not selling the way that Republicans claim that they would.
Not now.
No, if you look at what happened in the special election in Pennsylvania.
They also don't kick in yet. This is part of the problem. They don't kick in until that.
No, that's not true.
They didn't kick in these taxes that were just filed for people.
Yeah, but withholding, they have kicked in. People haven't
But
noticed.
GDP growth is up to 2.3% in the first quarter
Well, that's a
versus
different- that's actually a
1.7%
different
or what?
argument.
No, that's a completely different argument.
You are starting to see the growth this quarter, the first quarter
No,
versus
not
the
related.
prior year.
No,
Absolutely.
We're gonna take it-
we saw
Absolutely.
GDP growth of that level last year in at least
No,
one
it was
quarter.
higher than this year. The first quarter
Catherine
GDP growth
covers
this
the
year was
economy.
higher. than the past.
Trust me, I know a lot about tax cuts. I know a lot
I'm
about
talking about
GDP.
first quarter GDP growth this year versus last year and the prior year was higher, significantly higher this year in 2018.
But you know what? The president will be able to ask one question. Do you have more money in your paycheck because of tax cut? You know what the American people are going to say? Yes.
But you know what he has
They
to-
said
but
no.
you know-
They said no. There was a
say no.
survey on this. There was three surveys
and
on
I'll
this.
just
My
say-
mom has more in her paycheck. and
I will
trust
just
my
say,
mom
I'll
over
say,
you.
because we're going to take a break. He also didn't say what he said tonight is, if you don't vote for me, if you don't vote for Republicans,
Right.
they'll impeach me.
Right.
That's
Right,
not
that's
tax.
what he said.
We're going to take a quick break. The event is about to begin. The White House Correspondents' Center. Go nowhere.